All right, Crossroads podcast number 9. Joe
Number
Ryan.
9.
Yeah, number 9, number 9. It's the lucky number 9. The old I'm sure do you ever hear that Beatles thing? Number 9, number 9.
That sounds familiar.
It was some like music legend that I don't know, there was something about it, but
hmm
how's music in Great Falls for you?
Um, on a scale of 1 to 9, it's like a 9.
It's
You
a
know,
9?
it's like it's like
Is
a
it a 9 or
phobia
a
of.
none? I don't
It's
know.
like a it's like a niner. You know what I mean?
A niner.
It's so good.
Dang, when you throw in the niner, then it's tip top.
Yeah,
Well, I'm
you
glad to
know that.
hear it, man.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like this is my first time doing a Zoom thing.
Well, yeah, you have the audio podcast. Is it only audio?
Yeah, just audio right now.
The Get After It podcast?
Yeah, Get After It podcast. The_Get After It podcast. All you got to do is Google that and then sift through the other 12 or 13 podcasts named Get After It podcast. And
Oh, is there?
boom, bam, you'll see us with our original amazing idea and just be.
Well, almost everybody's got a podcast nowadays. But like I was saying, actually, you were one that inspired me to start doing a podcast. I was like, oh man, he's got a podcast going on. I should try getting into that. What made you want to start podcasting?
um, I don't know. I think that first the same thing when I saw other people do it. I was like, let's try this. This seems cool. And then I got into it a little bit, and I just ran out of gas. Like that's the tough part, is to like just keep going with your idea and not get bogged down and like all everything. A million things can bog you down. And then I found my partner Brian, and so it's just like it's interesting, no matter what we talk about. So I know that no matter what, I'm going to put in a couple hours with this guy, and it'll be interesting for me. And and we'll have like a product that's pretty listenable every time, so it's like, it became easy, so all of a sudden I was like, okay, this is something that I can sustain, and keep
Right.
going with.
So are you doing it regularly?
Yeah, we try to record twice a week.
Oh, twice a week.
Yeah.
I need to tune in better. I'm just now starting to tune in because you guys got them on. I listened to it on Apple.
Yeah.
But see, I need to start getting this podcast onto those other platforms. You guys got on Spotify and stuff, or?
Yeah, we're on all the, I don't know, all the major ones, all the pod catchers or whatever they call them.
Nice.
We're on Stitcher. We're on all kinds of. So like that was interesting to kind of like get into. We use rss.com, to like upload it to the main one, and then we kind of all just get the different ones and then we kind of upload them all at the same time once you get everything set. Yeah, so all we wanted to do is just like talk to interesting people. And in the first 50 podcasts, you want to figure out like who like what who are you and why are you interesting, because
Right.
like, I don't know, like you can't just like decide this is why I'm interesting. Sometimes you gotta listen back and then listen to other people that listen in and go, oh, I like this and that about what you guys are talking about, or the directions you go in, or whatever little thing. And then a lot of the feedback can be surprising. You're like, oh, I didn't understand. Oh, I wouldn't have expected that you'd like those silly little noises
Oh,
or the
right.
sound
Yeah.
effects that we do. But
I
okay, we
did
get a
hear
lot of.
that. And I was like, oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. You guys got the other things going on as well.
Yeah, we tried to do it like all live, just all, we don't do any post editing, because we're just like, we're two busy guys. And so we
True.
just like have an idea. If we can get an interview, cool. If not, we're just going to get together and talk about whatever. And then we just know going in like, okay, we're just going to have a conversation. It's going to be live, and we are not going to unless we make some huge mistake, or
Right.
whatever. and we just got to like edit it out. I think we've done that
Right.
one time just to be sensitive to somebody's uncle or something like that. We were
Right.
sensitive. It's like a situation. And but other than that, no, we don't edit anything and all the. So like what we have is we just got the Rodecaster Pro. It's like that. It's a mixer, but it's made for podcasting,
Oh,
and
okay.
so they make it really easy. There's just like 6 pads that you can program to be anything you want, just like little sound bites that you could record or download for free or whatever. Just have them ready. And so we just have like funny little sounds just kind of ready, and we see how they work. Because we're still under 50. We're just on episode 39. So once we get to
Nice.
50, we're going to reconsider everything. Maybe we're thinking about rebranding, changing the name, because it was like after we found after we named it and got
Mm-hmm.
some of the channel going and all that stuff. We kind of we did the research,
Oh,
and then
right.
found out there was so many other people that had already named their podcast that. So
Right. Part of the learning of it, I guess, since you were just getting started, is that why you named it the Get After It? Like,
yeah, it was just an idea that we wanted to interview people that were getting after it,
oh, okay. All right. Nice. Yeah.
following their dream or whatever, and then we just wanted to hear the story. Like, well, if whatever level of success that you've wanted to get, where are you, and then how'd you get there? Because somebody out there might be trying to do the same thing you're doing, and maybe you can spread the good info and get somebody started on their dreams.
Yeah. Well, I think the podcasting really helps no matter what you got going on. Do you have any ultimate goals with the podcast? Is it something you think you would do for a while? Because I'm like, I could get used to this.
Yes, I would love to do it professionally or semi-professionally. We'd love to be who people look to for like advertising. Like if whoever, even if it's locally, just in Great Falls, cool. I'd be happy with that. If we could be just like, how the local radio would
Hmm.
sell advertising and talk about your product or your event coming up. If we could get enough listeners, the podcasting is cool because like it's what somebody will put on and be listening. They don't have it in the background. You'd have music in the background or whatever, and then you have the
Right.
commercials in between, right? But with podcasting, whoever's listening to this is listening to every word. They're just like tuned in. And then it's so if you talk about something like an event coming up or maybe a piece of gear that you just love that's brand new, and you want to set up an affiliate link or Amazon link on your whatever, your website, and you want to
Hmm.
talk about it and say, hey man, if you go buy this thing because I said all the things I love about it, that'd be cool. I'll get a little commission. That
Yeah.
we're open to all that, but what you got to do first, or what we figure we got to do first is we got to figure out if we're any good at it, after, because you get a goal of 50 of them, 50 solid or more hours of this, and then you can listen back to something, and hopefully you've marketed it a little bit to your friends and family, and then maybe it grew a little bit, and then you can look at it and go, is this good? Should we keep doing this,
I
or should we
think,
totally change, or what?
I mean, in my opinion, I think it's rad what you guys got going on. And, it's that consistency thing. Like, you've done it almost 50 now. I'm like, man, I feel like a lot of people don't even pay attention until you've done, like, that much. Then they're like, okay, oh, maybe I'll. They start to tune in after you've already done all this footwork.
Yeah, yeah, that's true.
But I mean, I was stoked to see because I met you originally just from music. I think the first time I met you was here in Helena playing a show.
Yep, probably the Jester's Bar.
Yeah. So, how long have you been doing music, and how do you even get into that?
Well,
Not to
it was
totally slide off a podcast, but yeah.
well, yeah, no, it's like it's part of the the alternative lifestyle that we're trying to cobble together. You got your music, you try to do something like with marketing, like podcasting, if you can, to help yourself, and then maybe you can turn it into something to pad the financial part of your music thing. If it's like because everything kind of ebbs and flows,
Yeah,
and
Ebb and
so
Flow, that's the band, right?
yeah, that's the
Yeah.
segue to the band.
It
But
is a
like,
great band name, by the way.
thank you. That's a friend of mine, Tom Pepe, and I came up with that when we were kind of tossing around a new band name. And we were thinking about, well, we're going to start with like playing covers that we like, but we're going to add in the jam band part of it,
Mhm.
where, okay, we're going to play this cover. It's going to be kind of our own. You're going to recognize it, but then we're going to let people take solos as if we were more of a jam ish band, So
Right.
that was the aim. So we'd ebb and flow. That's what we're thinking. We're like not quite a jam band, but we're not quite a like total like a tribute band either. We're not like a cover band, specifically covers. We are
Right.
jamming
Have
them, and we
fun
are
with
trying to
it.
write
It
new
makes it
ones.
more enjoyable experience probably for you and the audience.
Yeah. But to answer your question, I got into music when I was 26. I sang in high school, I guess, and I was in a
Mhm.
band. And we did like, Green Day and Offspring covers and popular stuff of the day.
Nice.
And then I decided I wanted to do music in bars. I wanted to do acoustic stuff. And that's when you met me. I was like
Mhm.
maybe a year or two into that, just trying to play wherever I want, wherever I could. Anyone that would
Yeah.
say, yes, I'll let you play for a little bit of money, I would show up and try to play as best I could with my acoustic. And
Way to be.
yeah,
I mean, that's like even that in itself is, kind of like living the dream in a sense. Yeah, travel around, play your guitar. There
yeah,
was a time when it was hard to even do that.
yeah, that's when I started. I started off just trying to get my stage time, trying to get that. I wanted to stop being nervous on stage. I just wanted to have it be this natural thing and to get better as a musician. And
Mhm.
so I tried to do that. And now I found that I like to play places like ski hills. I like to play places like restaurants. I like to play places where I'm like the background music and I'm not like maybe the main event usually when I'm doing my
Mhm.
solo thing. And so that
Right.
opened up all this all this small time, all this small money, all these small jobs that you can kind of put together pretty easily. Because like uh, there's another type of musician that they're looking to be the superstar. They want to walk in, they want the lights to go out, they want a spotlight,
Right.
and I think that's fun too. I've done it a couple times here and there. I've experienced things like that, but I find that I just like playing the songs that I want to play, which are quiet, jazzy songs or obscure blues or pop songs from my era, maybe a little reggae here and there. And then now, as I'm getting my weekly shows doing this background music thing, I've been really getting into outlaw country and that sort of thing, and kind of
Nice.
like just learning this little. And so I've found this way of life that I like to I get to basically play whatever I want to play. I get to like have places to do it where people appreciate that I'm there, but I'm not like, I don't have lights on me. I don't got a smoke machine. But then I just started this band called Ebb and Flow, and we got a saxophone player, we got a keyboard
Nice.
player, and we got a 5-piece band. And I do have the lights, and we do have the smoke, and people
Oh,
are
for
looking
sure.
at us,
Dude, I
and
want to see
people
your
are
band. I
dancing.
don't think I've ever seen your band.
It's so new. We just had our second, well, with all of the
Oh,
people,
on the
including the
6th?
second show. Yeah, that was our first show officially as a 5-piece. That was the
Nice.
first time we ever did that.
How was
So
it?
it was like so fun. I mean, we packed the place enough so that the door cover was totally adequate,
Nice.
uh, which is good. We were worried about that because it's like usually as a background singer, I'm not charging a cover. You know what I mean? But with a band, it's a new thing. You got to charge a cover sometimes, and you got to like market.
Oh, yeah.
You got to try to bring the crowd as best you can to make it worth it for the bar that night, who's paying a little bit extra for the bigger show. And
Right.
so that was great. And then to play a smaller place, which was, it used to be called a Bert and Ernie's. I think you guys have one over there in Helena.
Mhm.
Or, and so it's like a similar kind of a cool, open style, laid back sort of restaurant that's been newly purchased by a German couple that just have like maybe hundreds of German beers and like totally cool cocktails. So it's like
Nice.
kind of a schwanky place, you know. So you got this
Cool.
cool vibe, you know, and it was just so fun. You know, it's fun to play obscure funk music, you know, like the Meters, Sissy Strut. It's fun to play the Police, you know what I
It's
mean? Because I was
groovy, like,
it's groovy
and it's
stuff,
so much
yeah.
different than playing by yourself. Like, it's
Mm,
nice, like you say, and it's good to have that balance, like you say, between things of you're chilled down, like just solo stuff.
yep.
And hey, if it keeps you busy, and when people are out there, I remember reading books of like how to make it as a musician and how to stay busy. Of course, somebody like you say might have that rock star dream of like huge crowd and the lights, but around Montana, if you want to stay busy playing gigs, there's certain environments and certain
Yeah.
styles. So,
Yeah, you got to play certain genres. Like if you want the bigger shows and you want to stay busy, you know, you just got to play that straight ahead country. You know, you got to have a voice like George Strait, or you got to play some of that bluegrass, that fun
right.
dancey bluegrass, that rock, that new grass or whatever. So and other stuff too. But there's like, you know, if you want to go that route and stay busy and get those big crowds, um, that's more power to you. You know, there's bands that do that, but it just wasn't for me. You know, I after touring around the state, not too far, but like, you know, doing the road thing, and
A
I just
solo?
realized that I just kind of like playing the music that I want to play. And I honestly felt that I wasn't to a level like musician wise and my singing and my presentation, the way I played my guitar. I just wasn't at a level that I felt, I don't know, I wanted to tour with. So I felt like to take other types of shows, I could like hone my craft, you know, and get to a level where I can look at myself in the mirror, record myself, and listen back and go, oh, yeah, I'm actually hitting it now. Okay, yes, now is the time. I feel like I'm getting better. Or, you know, I don't know if I'm going to try that one again. I need to really work on what I thought I was doing there. You know, to do
Oh
that
yeah,
that
self-reflection. It helps
work.
you get better.
Yeah.
So, do you write your own music at all? I've always kind of wondered that about you. Do
Mm-hmm.
you have recordings?
Yep, I've got a couple CDs. I was just asked about one. I did like a real limited version of a hundred CDs a couple
Mm-hmm.
years ago, and I have a couple songs playing on the local radio here with my last band called Joe Ryan and the Groove, where
Oh, I remember that.
we had an amazing trumpet player. So a couple songs, but I wouldn't say that I ever play those songs. You know, like I don't so rarely. Maybe I've pulled them out once or twice in the last 2 or 3 years because I just kind of focus on um, learning my genres, learning my rhythms, learning my because like my goal has been to write music,
Mm-hmm.
and I want to write music that requires all these skills that I don't have. You know?
Like the other instrument stuff,
Yep.
or
Yep. Like other instruments. Sometimes, for example, like I would get into this a studio situation,
mm-hmm.
and I would have a handful of songs, and I'd have some chords, right? But I just wasn't at a level where I could even think about the bass line. What's that going to sound like, and
Oh,
why?
right.
What am I looking for with the drums that would really push this song forward in a way that I was kind of thinking? You know what I mean? I can't even talk to a drummer at this point and say, well, here's what I want. Here's what I want it to sound like, you know?
Right.
And so I chose GarageBand, and
Oh, that's
I got
rad.
little Focusrite interface. And I
Nice.
started to just like learn using an SM57 microphones, going direct, all that stuff, learning how to do my own, make my own beats with a sequencer.
Nice.
Now I'm at a level where like I'm excited to write music with people. Not that I want to write the bass line or I want to write the drums or anything like that, but I know that I can write the outline by
Mm-hmm.
myself and then send it to my guys and they can listen and go, oh, I kind of know what you're going for, and then do something that's
Nice.
way badass, you know, with their skills.
Cool. So, dude, that's pretty rad. That home setup is definitely the way to go nowadays. I mean, going to studios, I enjoy that. But I've always that home studio setup. So is your old recording just you and a guitar?
Um, yeah, I've got one that's me and a guitar, and then the other one is my band and I, the
Oh,
groove.
nice. Do you think you'd ever plan to put any of your recordings onto like the like Spotify and stuff like that?
But once I get a little more serious with this band, I think I might dig those up and try, start to add those. But right now, I have just a few of them on a reverb page, like
Okay.
a totally neglected reverb page.
I know
You
how
know,
that is. I probably have a very neglected reverb page as well.
yeah. But I was reminded the other day when I was looking for these files, and I was like, because I was trying to prepare for an original show I did out in Fort Benton.
Hmm.
I cobbled together all of my originals into about an hour, and then I had a friend of mine do his originals, and he had about an hour, and then we would just like back each other up on guitar, that sort of thing.
Nice.
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. But then as I was looking at it and trying to search around, I was like, oh yeah, I've got my reverb page, and it had a couple of these songs that I was like, oh yeah, like I wrote this like simple little blues song that I forgot that I wrote. That's kind of cool. So it's fun to write things and then put them away and move forward and not think
Yeah.
about it. But then years later, you're like, huh, what was I thinking? Oh, I don't know. That's kind of cool. Let's maybe I could use this and turn it into something else now.
That is the beauty of music and recording, and it's it always kind of blows my mind how we can remember so much music in our heads, like different songs. Yeah, I was talking. So you play with Ryan Severson in the band, or have you got like a steady lineup now, or was
Yeah,
it hard to
Ryan.
find a lineup?
It was super hard to find a lineup. All the guys that were kind of at the same with the same mindset.
Right.
And Ryan Severson is our guitar player. Jay
Nice.
Dixon is our saxophone player. So he's a new guy from just kind of moved here in the Air Force.
Oh,
So
okay.
we'll have him hopefully for a year and a half, 2 years, and cross your fingers.
Yeah, saxophone. That's awesome though.
Yeah, sounds so good. It fits the type of music we're doing so well. And then Johnny Ritchie, who was came real close to replacing Piano Pat in that recent contest over at the Sip and Dip.
Oh, they have an in-house guy or something. Is that the deal?
Yeah, so at that the Sip and Dip here in Great Falls, famous for mermaids.
Yeah,
There's
I
a
still
bar.
have never seen the mermaids. I've tried to.
Mm-hmm.
I go at the wrong time every time, I
I think you
guess.
just gotta like just come on like a Friday or Saturday around 7ish, something like that. They'll be there swimming around. If there's nothing, I mean, I don't know, check their Facebook to make sure they're not like draining the pool and repainting it or whatever.
That would be my luck
Right, that'd probably be
every
real.
time. Yeah.
But it's a super tiny place, little tiki themed bar, and we did have a very kind of famous and well beloved lady named Piano Pat, who was like I don't remember her age, but she was very, very old and was just about to retire and then had sadly passed away. And
Oh
so they did
man,
it. Yeah, it was like
rest
we
in
were all very
peace.
sad to lose her because she was just, I mean, she must have been playing that show. I mean, as a lady, as a female musician, she was holding down that solo show in a bar, like playing till midnight, 1 o'clock when they used to smoke in the bar too.
Oh
And
man,
and she's like like she's like surrounded by people. You could sit around her piano and tip her and be like, hey, can we do request a song that's a lot of sing-alongs like New
right.
York, New York, and everyone's singing that together, right?
Bar
And so
shows like playing for the bar
yeah,
creates a
oh
cool
exactly.
energy.
So the guy who got real close in that, Johnny Ritchie, his videos were up on that website, on their Facebook, on the Sip and Dip Facebook. He's now our piano player. So it
Hmm.
was weird. I was conflicted. I was like, man, I really hope that he gets this spot. It'd be super cool for him to have this weekly show. But I also want him selfishly for my band,
Yeah,
right?
for sure. Well,
Here's
I'm
the
glad
thing.
that things I guess have a way of working themselves out.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to have as much fun as we can. Also, TC Hirsch, he's a great drummer. And he has a local KGPR. That's our local Montana radio. He does like a
Oh.
jazz show,
Oh, really?
a week, yeah, a weekly jazz show, like the world of jazz. And he just like
Nice.
goes, gets these obscure, cool, groovy jazz tunes, and he just tells you a little backstory about him. And he's really fun to play with. Yeah,
Nice. I
man.
don't think I've ever met him in person. Just communicated through the internet. Hopefully one of these days I'll see you guys
Yeah.
in person. Next year, after this winter, I should
Hmm.
be getting around a little more, and I'm sure you guys will probably be playing more gigs. What you said, you had your first official gig as a five piece just recently?
Yeah, and that was at the Keller Geist here in Great Falls, and they invited us back to do like a monthly show. So we'll be
Oh,
there.
beautiful.
Yeah, it went really well. I think we fit the place. The crowd liked it. The owners liked it. We liked it. So it was like a win-win fun thing. And they said, let's do this once a month, see how it works out.
Hey, right on. You have
Yeah,
other regular gigs? You do solo ones around town regularly, or?
yeah. Every Wednesday from 5:30 to 8:30, I'm at the Halftime Sports Bar doing my
Nice.
solo show. It's cool. Come in there, watch the sports, watch the games. I'm your background music kind of deal. I'm
Hey, man, that's
making a
good.
sports bar a little more fancy, you know.
Right.
Um, and then the other one is a place that we call the Beck. So that's the Black Eagle Country Club, and
Hmm.
it's kind of a smaller dive bar feel, but they got great breakfast and lunch. And I do a Sunday morning show at 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
I was wondering about that, how that is. Because I don't think I've ever really done like early shows. How is it doing the early ones?
It takes, well, I've done like a coffee show on a Saturday about the same time, and it takes some preparation. Like you can't just like wake up and roll out of bed and go do it. You got to have a couple hours to wake up at least. You got to warm up your voice, because a lot of times I don't warm up my voice like I should. But
Hmm.
in the mornings, like I have to go through like the things you might remember from choir. I'll go through them. I'll have spray, voice spray.
Oh, you mean the little warm-ups to tune your voice up?
Yep,
Yeah.
little warm up exercises for
Yeah, it
vocal.
actually does make a difference, and it'll save you in the long run from, what I've heard.
Oh yeah, like I mean, it goes from me not being able to hit notes and I sound really raspy to being okay. Now I'm clear and I can hit the notes I want to hit. It's not so. I mean, it's hard if you can't do it. It feels like a struggle. But that's the place where I was like, well, it's a morning show. I'm thinking it's a Sunday morning, and so I'm trying to put myself in their place, right? Like, what would you want if, like, if you're in a bar having a drink on a Sunday morning, right? Chances are you maybe had some drinks last night,
Right, yeah.
the night before. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe these people had some drinks last night. So I'm going to try just to give them like some quiet jazz, maybe some folk, maybe some old Bob Dylan, some finger picking stuff. See if anyone smiles at me, and goes, hey, thanks, or they'll come over and tip me.
The tips are always nice.
Oh yeah, and then I'll just try some country or whatever, and then depending on that crowd, I mean, they'll just say, play whatever. I don't know why you're trying to read us. Like we like play Adele, play the Humpty Dance by Digital Underground, play whatever it comes to your mind, and we love it all. We love the
Nice.
variety.
Just being you, being there, and just vibing out, doing your thing.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and you know, there's something I was recently looking into. Something I'm trying to figure out. You know, I'm pretty techie, and that's what's cool about you is that you seem to be pretty tech savvy as well. Like you're understanding how to get this podcasting thing going. And I
Mhm.
see that they're doing more like virtual performance stuff nowadays, where
Mhm.
people would like be able to tip you through the internet and everything like that. I'm like, huh,
Yeah.
this is kind of weird. I don't know how I'd like it because there's just nothing like being out and like real people, you know.
Yeah. I think the struggle is there. It's like you still got to like set up a cool stage so it looks cool, and then you got to still market the heck out of it. Try to get people that you think would participate with you. And then you gotta like have good sound. You gotta like go
Mm.
the extra mile and get like an interface. Make sure you're plugging in real nice, and then figuring a way to like then have that interact with your camera live. Then yeah, I see when you do it like a weekly thing, and you just like put up on the screen, just here's my Venmo, right, for tips. I think it's pretty cool, especially like so you're doing like original stuff. Like people like I think that's why everyone should try originals, like because it like people really appreciate how hard it was to come up with that yourself, and they
I'd
even if
like to
it's
hear
not as
yours, because I don't
we're
know if
gonna
I ever have. Oh,
oh
except
yeah.
at like live shows, if you
Hmm.
like mix them in between.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, dude, like if you ever put any of your solo stuff on the internet, I would definitely check that out.
Well, cool. I'm trying to challenge myself to do an album of solo stuff. Like I've got my mini Focusrite solo all set up, and I'm like, you know what? Why don't I just like plug in, get some words ready, get some chords ready, and get something real simple just out there, just for
Yeah,
fun.
I like that. Well, do you play like a steel string acoustic guitar, or do you play a nylon string?
I play well, now I play exclusively nylon string.
You do. How do you like it?
It's saved my life. It's the best thing that's ever happened to me. Because
Dude,
at
I
first
love
I
the
could
sound of them, and the feel
yeah,
is
oh man.
nice, for sure.
Yeah, I used to play all kinds. I was into regular acoustics. I was into like that slide guitar like you used to do, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I used to do a ton of that. I was into it, man. It was like so fun.
Oh, for sure.
But then I was playing so many shows back then, like 5, 6 shows a week years ago. I don't do that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at like 4 shows a week now.
Hey, that's great, man.
I'm still, I'm in there watching.
Yeah.
But with this, it was like the squeezing of my hand and then this motion, because I don't play with a pick. I kind of whack at it. I kind of
Nice. I love
just use
it.
my fingers, or I finger pick.
Oh,
But
let's hear
it's
a
like
finger
easy.
picky ditty.
It's like a
Yeah. Hey, you're the first guitar that we've had on the podcast so far.
cool, man.
Yeah, I dig it, man. That's
Oh
the
shoot.
point. I'm trying to do that with the Crossroads thing and get more. Stay. I still tap into the hip hop world, but the singer songwriter acoustic, I love it.
Yeah, I like both too. There's something funky about it all. Like I love the way that hip hop has there's when you got a good beat, and then you
Hmm.
got that snare drum that can just come in and just add that just like another thing. Like that's what I'm hearing with a good rapper.
Uh
They
huh.
just they really know how to feel the beat, and they know how to use their lyrics to like come in and like be part of the drum, be part of the rhythm. But we're not hearing that. We're hearing the cool, hopefully cool lyrics that rhyme or
Right.
closely rhyme, whatever.
Yeah, music is so ever changing. So do you play guitar in the Ebb and Flow band?
No, I play bass in that one.
So you do play the bass in that. I seen the picture and I was like, wait, is he playing bass here?
Yeah, it's like a baby bass. So this is a 3/4 size guitar,
Uh huh.
kind of a smaller guitar, a little Gibson from
Oh,
67.
beautiful.
Watch out, man.
Gibson.
They were
Shout
not very
out.
popular, so I got them for
Oh
cheap.
yeah. Gotta get you, man. That I don't think I've ever played a Gibson nylon guitar, especially a 3/4 size. That's rad.
I can't find. If you see one, just call me. I've been trying to find another one just in case this one ever something happens to it.
Mhm.
Like the only so I have a backup guitar, and it's just a Yamaha nylon string 3/4 size student guitar, which is
Mhm.
all the same dimensions, but it was only like 100, maybe $130, maybe, I can't remember.
Mhm.
I just put a pickup in it, and bam, I've got a backup guitar. And with the bass, It was kind of the same thing. Like I love the sound of just a regular P bass, just a regular size classic P bass.
Mhm.
Um, I love that sound, and I tried to play them, but they're just a little too big. My hands are getting tired from the repetition. But then I found that baby bass. Well, I was playing like just a shorter bass, like one of those Gretsch basses. But then I found
Mhm.
something even smaller, like it's half size that they came out, and it was a half size P bass. And I was like, ugh, half size P bass, you say? Because I need to be able to like sing because I'm the lead singer in the band and playing bass.
Mhm.
And so like when I'm like trying to sing up here and like keep my, where I've got my microphone over here, I gotta look. I don't want to be able to have to look down at what I'm doing as much. And
Right.
I don't have real big hands at all. So like to have such a small bass, like I can do all the stuff I need to do almost without looking. I do look, but I was almost without looking now.
Nice. Dude, I gotta check that out. Yeah, I was trying to see if there was some videos of you guys on the internet. There's probably just ones that people may have captured at a show or something like that, huh?
Yeah, I'll try to get my own video next time or go live, so we'll just have it up there so people can just kind of see. We did have a photographer at the last show, but I'm not sure if he got any video, and I didn't get any video. So I'm like,
It's
sometimes
all
I'm
good.
too in the moment,
Well, that's the thing is, that's it. Plus, you're kind of behind it if you're arranging the shows, and you kind of got to wear that hat too of doing the business of it and lining up the shows and communicating with the bar owners or whatever.
Yeah, and I try to be like the anti stereotypical lead singer, So I come in
Yeah, that's good.
and I set up the PA myself. You know what I mean? I I do the sound check with everybody. You know what I mean? I'm not just like walking in like a prima donna, like, hey everyone, the golden voice is here.
Right. Yeah. Everybody does everything for me.
Yes.
And
Yes.
where's the red carpet rolling out? No.
Right. And then everyone stands up when I walk in the room, which is always really respectful and nice. I'm just
Yeah, for sure.
kidding.
But and that's another reason why I hit you up too, is because I was like, you have a presence, amongst in the music community. I would say, where I'm like, yeah. Um, when I try to think of who's who in what areas and who's doing things, I'm like, yeah, you've always been active.
I've been trying. I mean, I've taken a few little breaks, but
You
music
must
is where
love it
it's
or
at.
something, huh?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. This is what I want. Like, if I take a job, a day job, I always consider it like a my part-time gig. Like, this is
Yeah.
this music thing is what I'm about. And so as long as I can keep doing it and not hurt myself and not hurt nobody else.
Hey, that's what it's all about, man. I mean, well, thanks for doing this with me. Thanks
Hey,
for getting
this
your
is
guitar out.
yeah. This is sorry it's all out of tune. I'd play it a little more. Like,
Hey,
but
it's all good. I like the look of it though. Like the body, it looks kind of like a beat up old like Crossroads guitar, That's what I imagine you go to the
yeah, yeah. That's why I kind of thought it was like kind of like a Willie Nelson style guitar.
Yeah, for
Someone
sure.
someone
Character.
someone carved their initials in it. Wasn't me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, somebody did. Yeah, that's beat up.
So you
It's a
found a
beat up.
used guitar?
Yeah, it's a beat up 1967
Dude,
Gibson.
that is
It just like and I sold it one time. I was like, oh, I can't. It doesn't play in tune the way I wanted to play. It doesn't sound like one of these big dreadnought guitars. I don't know if it's for me. And I sold it. And a couple of years went by, and I sold it to a guy in town who owns a repair shop for guitars.
Mhm.
And I noticed that he put it up on his Facebook for sale. And I was like, and he changed the nut on it, so fixed that up a little bit.
Oh,
That
nice.
was that was kind of broken. So he fixed that, fixed a couple other little things. So I came in, I played it. I was like, you know what? I just have to have it back. And I was thinking, maybe this could be the thing because it's so effortless to play that I could start doing, you know, a ton of shows again and not worry about getting repetitive injuries or whatever you call that.
Well, dude, when I've tried to show some people how to play guitar,
Mm.
I don't think a lot of people realize how hard it is to actually. I mean, it's not the hardest thing in the world, but it really does wear on your fingers. And the nylon strings actually really help. I got my son a nylon string to learn on because I'm like, man, it hurts so bad. And
Yep.
then, like you probably play for hours at a time, especially performing.
Yep. I play 3-hour shows, usually.
Yeah, your hand starts getting stiff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's right. So I try to mix it up, and you got to save your voice for tomorrow's show. You got to save your hands for tomorrow's show, you know, unless you're on American Idol and it's like the finals or whatever. I don't know.
I don't know. Like,
Then maybe you're like, yeah, let it all hang out, whatever. Give it everything. But what I'm trying to do is just, give a nice solid show. Like every time you show up, I want you to know that it's not going to be garbage. You're going to hear something that's like, this guy is pretty good. He knows what he's doing. And I'm not going to like bother you when you're trying to like talk to a girl like, hey, how you doing? Oh man, what's he trying to do to that song? Hey, anyways, my name's Joe. I'm going to create a cool vibe for everybody to get to know each
you
other.
do have a cool vibe just in general, which I think makes the biggest difference for any musician is just like the person you are, which, Joe Ryan, Jake Ryan, I don't think we're related at all.
Mm.
Are you
But
from
I
Great
can't.
Falls or what?
No, I mean, no, I mean, I don't think so. I'm from Washington originally,
Oh,
and then
okay.
we moved to Sims when I was in the seventh grade. But yeah, that'd be weird. My family's from Seattle. I mean, the
I mean,
Ryans.
yeah, I do definitely have Ryan family all over the place. I have no idea. We have a kinship, we're not too different, you know?
I mean, are you like really Irish? Are you like an
Yeah.
Irish? Yeah, me too. Like we might be related.
We might
Let's
be
just,
related, who knows? Yeah.
I might be like uncle or cousin Joe Ryan. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, in my family there's not a lot of musicians. They're pretty rare, but I mean, I consider you a bro. You're my bro Joe. So
Yeah.
do you play Hey Joe? Probably not.
Dang. Now I want to.
Yeah, my yeah, my pop sent me a Hey Joe meme right after I got done talking to you, and I was like, oh, that's kind of ironic.
Yeah.
And then I hit you up. I'm like, Hey Joe. So I'm always gonna be thinking that now.
Yep, I get it a lot. I gotta share my name with so many other, like Cup of Joe is kind of my favorite.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, well, I'm gonna have to tune into your podcast more and hopefully see you live. Hopefully one day I'll hear your music, even just your solo stuff on the internet, 'cause I dig it.
Yeah, man, I'll send you some. Once I get it all organized, I'll remember this. I'll be like, Jake wanted to hear some of this stuff. I'll just send it his way, see what he thinks, and then
Yeah,
if I have anything recorded nowadays, I'll be like, hey, here's what I'm doing now. Take a listen, see what you think, and maybe we'll get an idea on something to collaborate on.
I would love it one day. I have another guitar that's like a nylon string, and one day we might be able to come up with a cool chill song. Even your band, like hopefully one day we just get that chance to jam out together a little bit. I don't think we've ever
Yeah,
had a little jam.
I don't think so.
Well, maybe one day. You never know. Maybe we'll hit the crossroads in real life. We'll cross paths one day and get to do this in the real world.
I like that. Good segue. We'll have to get after it.
Yeah, dude, for sure. I will put your
Uh,
links. I will put your links below, and that Get After It, man, it is real for sure because, you know, it's not that hard if people have like a little dream or a little goal to, you know, a lot of times it might just take reaching out, like sending a message through Facebook or something. So,
yep, that's all it takes sometimes.
well, thank you for doing this, Joe. I'll share it tomorrow, and I'm not gonna do any editing and stuff. I like to keep it raw.
Bam.
And
Good
we had a
stuff.
great conversation. Thank you.
Hey, it's been my pleasure. Thanks again. Let's do it again sometime. Maybe I'll have you on my podcast when you're in town next.
Yeah, I would dig it. Yeah, I'll talk to you and we'll line it up sometime.
Sounds good. Take it easy.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too.